pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I don't feel like we could start the meeting. Tom and Diane Jones are here. So did anybody call them to find out?
Before we go any further, I'd ask that we offer a moment of silence. Skip's father passed away on Thursday.
Yep.
And having been through that myself, I know it's difficult, so we could have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thanks, Blake. I appreciate it.
Do you have your sheet for the seventh?
I do. Okay, I am reporting on financials I approved on February 7th pursuant to authorization given to me by the board under ORC 305.30. The financials resolution 16-002 included a revenue certification for the juvenile court CASA fund, an appropriation transfer from contingency account to put appropriations in place for the 2016 SEDCO Wellness Grant, appropriation transfers for the juvenile court's general fund and care and custody fund budgets, a cash transfer to the county home for a portion of 2016 funding, and vouchers included a payment to Johnson Controls for the McFarland wastewater treatment plant upgrade project for the Department of Water Resources in the amount of $311,770. That's it.
Financials today include a revenue certification for the Water Resources Thompson Wastewater Treatment Plant Project Fund, a purchase order from Micro Advantage Incorporated for the purchase of an SIP-based paging system for the Board of DD in the amount of $12,340, travel request for the Commissioner's Office and the Engineer's Office, payment to New World Systems Corporation for the annual software maintenance agreement in the amount of $105,000, and a payment to Manatron for the annual MVP maintenance contract for the Auditor's Office in the amount of $89,212.21.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
You want us to explain that?
You want to say something about it before you go?
It's just that money gets deposited into that fund from marriage fees and divorce fees, and then there's a requirement that it be distributed to a place that is a shelter for women, and we own one in the county, it's women's.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the board request the county auditor to distribute the balance in the Domestic Violence Fund 2070 to Women's Safe, the local agency designated by the Commissioner to receive such monies. This allocation is to be paid pursuant to Section 3113.34 of the Ohio Revised Code for the 2015 year in the amount of $15,962.50.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
We had our senior transportation coordinator job posted internally, and we do have a wonderful candidate in-house, Rudy Brunick. He actually was one of our drivers for over 3 years, and he was the backup for Joanna Brace, who is the current senior transportation coordinator. So he has backed her up, and he understands the different reporting and the different scheduling for the job. He also has previous supervisory experience, 11 years for the city of Chardon, so he was very well qualified for this position.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve the promotion of Rudy Brody to the position of Senior Transportation Coordinator number 1019 to be effective January 18, 2016 at a rate of $16.94 per hour. After the completion of a 180-day probationary period, the rate will increase to $17.83 per hour.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Due to his transition into the supervisory position, we'd like to open his position up internally. He's a full-time transportation driver. We'd like to post that internally for 5 days.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board grant permission to advertise internally for the position of full-time transportation driver number 1020 for a period of 5 days.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler? Commissioner Claypool?
There was another matter I was hoping the commissioners might give Dave the authorization for. We've been working with our APA, and right now, I'm sorry, it's really not on our end, but an employee's attorney's kind of holding things up at the present time. But we do have a disciplinary matter that we've been reviewing, and we are anticipating a separation agreement. It could come today, it could come tomorrow. But currently this employee is on administrative leave, so the sooner that the document could be signed, then I could stop paying administrative leave and their vacation time could take over. So I was hoping that you might consider authorizing Dave to sign the separation agreement to resolve the pending disciplinary matter against Kathy Duncan.
And we've been talking about this, and the board's familiar with what's going on here, so I'm okay with that. Can we have a motion for that?
Do we have language?
Do. The Department on Aging is requesting the board authorize County Administrator David Lair to execute the separation agreement resolving the pending disciplinary action regarding Catherine Delaney, Assistant Site Coordinator.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
5.5. That'll be item
5.5.
5.5, right?
Morning.
Remember the other day when it was gonna be 10 cents a copy? It was a typo on the request for action.
Yes.
It was correct on the contract.
Good catch, Mike.
Good job.
The Archives and Records Center is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract agreement with Blue Technologies and further authorize the president of the board to execute a Blue Technologies service program form to maintain the record center copy machine for a 1-year period in the amount of 0.01089 cents per copy.
Make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
It's actually more than just the president of the board, right? Because there's some contracts that
Well-
require.
Everybody is signing here, and then you're only signing here.
As you read the resolution, the way it said
It
just.
says approve and execute service contract with Blue Technologies and further authorize the president of the board to execute this document.
And where do you want me to sign it? Right here?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. That's a good color.
Morning.
Good timing.
It's okay.
Morning.
It's like, I know, I'm like, wait a minute.
Just looking to see what they said. This is just, I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess you can go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
You're good?
Okay, Blake?
Speak.
No, I didn't know if there was still conversation going to take place down there.
Well, I don't want to interfere.
No, okay.
Okay, this is just moving Ashley Clark from a full-time attendant to a senior attendant on first shift. She's been with me, well, since she was in high school. She's a good job. She does a good job, really fine. We need leadership. Any questions?
The county home is requesting the board approve the reclassification of Ashley Clark from full-time attendant number 1504 to full-time senior attendant number 1506 to be effective January 17th, 2016 at her current rate of $11.55 per hour. After the successful completion of a 180-day probationary period, the rate will increase to $12.16 per hour.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Morning. Morning, Andy. How are you?
Good. Good. Do our annual horse account. You will authorize the engineer to repair our roads if necessary in the most efficient manner possible.
If necessary? Explain the force account. I don't really understand that term.
Force account, it can be used different ways.
the way the ORC reads, what it is the control to limit what government can spend basically with its own forces. Contractors can do things much more efficiently on a larger scale. The limits of the force account is $100,000 per bridge, $30,000 per mile of repair. It's not that we can't do the work. If it's an emergency, if it's something small enough, we can effectively handle that work efficiently. Contractor has to mobilize, do lots of other work just to get there. We can mobilize quickly. On a larger project, above 100,000, above 30,000 per mile, construction type work, competitive bid closes the road. They get to work 10 hours a day more. They're much more efficient at larger projects.
So the force account is giving you authority to do work?
The commissioner is giving the engineer authority to perform work on bridges, culverts, and roads within monetary limits. Over the limit, it has to be bid out. That's the idea.
And if we didn't approve this, what would be the net impact?
Bid every project.
Good, we're gonna give you authority. At least I'm going to vote to give you authority.
The county engineer's office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-004, authorizing the county engineer to undertake projects using the force account in certain cases for the year 2016.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You guys are doing a good job, by the way. Good
Spread that
roads
around.
out there.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
How's that salt working out? You gonna have enough?
We'll need some more.
Oh.
We're gonna be able to save this year, right?
We're doing good. It's a good
Yeah,
warm.
we should be on the plus side up until yesterday.
Compared to last year, it's a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling we have, isn't it? Yes. Working out great.
How's everyone?
Morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're here this morning to ask the board to execute the contract that we have for our Family First Council. I know as the board is well aware that this is a really important group for us in the county and saves us a lot of money and really does a fantastic job. We're very thankful that the commissioners have agreed to step up and fill the void of the extra dollars that needed to be put there, that were fulfilled this last period by MRDD, and we're very thankful for that. And so we just asked the board if we could go forward and execute that. Very appreciative. And Nancy feels the same way.
Definitely. You all have been so supportive in the past. We really appreciate you being willing to do that. It's a tremendous thing for the community. I think that you all support family and children.
And volunteers do a great job.
Thank you.
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board approve and execute the Geauga County Family First Council Mutual Funding Agreement between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners, Geauga County Job and Family Services, Geauga County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and the Geauga County Board of Mental Health and Recovery Services for funding of the Geauga County Family First Council for the period January 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2016. This agreement commits the Board of County Commissioners to provide a support payment of $42,484 from the general fund.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Any
Yeah,
questions?
thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really
Appreciate it.
Yes.
I know. We were very convincing.
Thank you.
Morning, Jerry.
Morning. Morning. This is hiring of Jerome Reynolds for electrician position that we had open. He'll be replacing Keith Baker, who passed away. We advertised this externally. We got several good candidates and interviewed 4 of the 6 applications that we got. Jerome's he stepped out a little bit more than the others because he actually has a lot more troubleshooting experience with dealing with pumps and blowers and motors and that, on getting them rerunning, which is mostly what our electrician does. They're not running new line, new electric most of the time. Most of the time they're trying to figure out why something isn't working as it is.
No, he's working with Mike,
He will be working with Mike. Yeah.
and Mike is still gonna be sticking around too
Yes.
for a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll be and help them.
Yeah.
Get them up to speed on everything that we, our systems.
Yeah. He's a wealth of information there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tremendous time for us to bring him in. He's probably saved us a countless number of dollars of not having to go out and hiring electricians to come in and do the work that he's been able to do.
Plus, he's maintained his licenses too, correct?
Correct, yeah, he's an operator 3
Yeah, so
also.
huge, yeah.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve hiring Jerome Reynolds to the position of electrician number 2314 to be effective January 25th, 2016, at a rate of $21.03 per hour with a 180-day probationary period.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spudler? Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you,
Thank
Jerry.
you.
Okay. Now we get to this big long document. There are a few extra copies of the reorg motions on the desk if anybody is interested. Nope, up here, sorry.
The wonderful credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, you bet.
Suggestions list.
I didn't see this come in by email. Did I miss this?
Didn't they? They all came in
They
today.
came
and
to
then
me,
he
and I
just
just-
compiled it and gave you guys a
Yeah,
response.
there's nothing really earth-shattering. I just compiled all the responses, plus I got a voicemail like the last one from the auditor's office, so. I didn't express any particular concern.
This has to do with meetings, so in case you're wondering, it was new information that we hadn't had until this morning.
Yeah.
So there was some feedback on meeting times and so forth, so.
Do you have a copy?
No, I do not, but that's okay.
I don't understand what a road vacation process is.
Oh, well, you're gonna understand.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
one that we have to do.
What, a road
What, to vacate a road?
the vacate a road, all right.
We vacate a road.
Yeah.
We have one that has come in from Parkwood Township, but we are going back and forth with them because the information that has been supplied is not sufficient to what is required by the code.
Yeah.
So once the actual documentation comes in, is received, then we are under a clock. We have 45 days to hold a viewing, a hearing, and get notification out to all the property owners within so many days prior to that hearing. So it becomes sometimes can be a juggle on only having that one meeting on Tuesday and then with holidays in there, it kind of throw a wrench in
That
things.
vacation, I was thinking more somebody leaving to go to the Bahamas.
Process of vacating a road.
That's a road trip.
The minute you
not a
started
road
saying that,
trip.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
Now
a
I get
road
it,
trip.
thanks.
Yes.
All right. So, where do we want to start?
The first one is who you're going to appoint as president and vice president for next year.
Okay, any thoughts on that?
I thought that based on our work session that we had Wasn't any disagreement to pretty much leave things in place as is. So if I guess to begin, I'll make a motion for Skip as president and myself as vice president, and for those two positions.
Any discussion? If
Any
not,
discussion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Okay, the next is you have to discuss the meeting schedule for 2016. If you're going to make any changes to your every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and fourth Thursday of each month at 6:30, whether you're going to keep it as the same, or if you're going to change the time, or if you're going to add any days.
I don't see any, I mean, I was reading the input that we got from various individuals on our meeting time. I didn't see any great disagreement with the times. There were some folks that would rather have it at 10 versus 9, but I didn't hear strong feelings in there. And I didn't hear any strong feelings versus days. There was some comments, and I happen to be in this camp, that we at least adjust for holiday schedules so that we're not, we're not creating a problem for people who are, I'm sorry, I've got funeral arrangement stuff coming in. I apologize. I'll check periodically. So other than making sure that we're not putting county departments or our staff in a wrinkle around holidays, should there be some timing issues, I don't see any particular problem with our current meeting schedule. So, does anybody else have anything to express on that? I like the Tuesday meetings. 9 o'clock is fine with me. 10 o'clock would be fine for me. I don't really care. It's whatever.
The only issue I'd mention about 9 versus 10 is when she's on maternity leave. If we stay at 9, what we're going to end up having is Debbie Ashburn is going to have to be part of the backup process, because Lori Zampino can't be here early enough to be, start a 9 o'clock meeting. That's the only, and that's just for this year, that's the only issue that I see that I brought up at the work session. The other thing I thought there was some general consensus on is the idea of having, if you decide to establish a schedule where you're always going to cancel the Tuesday meeting following the Monday holiday, that you would, and then instead on those weeks, schedule a Thursday morning meeting.
Like we did in January.
And I would be good with that too. And Christie's not going to be gone forever. Please tell me that's not true.
No.
And so it would only be a short-term thing with Debbie in any case. When are you planning on leaving on maternity leave?
I will probably be gone starting the second week of April, and then I will be back the first week of June. So it'll only be an 8-week period. So if you wanted to just change those meeting times to 10 o'clock during that time period when I'm gone, to accommodate so that Lori can do meetings instead of having to jump with Debbie, and then leave the rest of them at 9.
I think Debbie would, she's got the experience from the last time. Instead of, trying to go through a learning curve, I think having Debbie do the meetings at 9 would be fine.
Well, and she can definitely do them. The only thing, we're trying to transition some of Heidi's workload off of Heidi to Debbie,
Right.
and this is just going to complicate that a little bit, that's all.
So we're going to be in here for oftentimes a half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And there are some exceptions to that, but we're not in here that long, so
Well,
it would give Deb a little bit of a break from sitting in her cave, and so.
What will take place is that Lori will do your agenda, Lori will do the minutes, she will do all the session paperwork. Debbie will sit in here at the end of the table, do session review, and then she will sign all the financials and all the paperwork part of it. Lori will just handle the processing of all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
So we're gonna, what I'm hearing is Debbie filling in the interim, stay with 9 o'clock. We will make adjustments for the holidays so that we've at least got a meeting that week so people aren't disadvantaged because they don't have an opportunity to get the paperwork processed and so on and so forth, so.
Do you want to do it green?
I personally like the evening meeting. Now, again, I can see an argument both sides, and so if anybody's got an opinion on that, then I would suggest maybe doing it one more year and seeing how that works out. We did have informational sessions, which I think were of value. People did comment come, we gave them an opportunity to get some stuff off their chest in many cases. If we don't start getting attendance, general meeting related, I can see an argument putting it back at some point in time.
I did have a comment while I was down from our sheriff, that the evening meetings, during the week, townships and school boards and whatnot, they almost always do their meetings at night, because the nature of that work is people are working during the day. So having a commissioners meeting at night can be a conflict with other meetings that are already scheduled. So I just thought of that as we were sitting here. That was the other comment I got, other than what you saw there.
Well, there's always,
There's always a
with
conflict.
how many townships do we have? 14?
16.
16?
Mhm.
With the 16 townships, we're gonna have a conflict at some point in time, and we can't make hard decisions based on the fact we might have a conflict with somebody, so.
We may have trouble with coverage with Debbie and Lori.
At
while
night,
I'm gone.
right.
That might be the only other.
Yeah, I don't know
Wrinkle
what
that you may have in
commitments they
April
have
or
at
May.
night that would make a night meeting. The other issue is, it's hard to get people to wanna sign up to come here and do normal business at night, so other departments, to transact. I absolutely agree with what you're saying as far as special meetings and the input from them. It's just, we found it's tough to get departments or other elected offices to wanna come at night just to conduct regular business as part of the evening meeting.
Well, that's their decision, and
They just have to schedule around it.
if they wanna get something done that
Right.
weekend is only a Thursday meeting, then
That's it.
that's when the meeting is, so
Yep.
I'm not overly concerned about that. I'm more concerned that the constituents have an opportunity, and many of whom work during the day, to come in and see what's going on and so forth. So, like I said, if we're not seeing attendance, we adjusted to the Thursday night meeting, and there was agreement on that. It was done before I got here, so. We did that because people expressed an interest in having Thursday. If they're not supporting that, then we can make an argument to move it back. So, we can try it even 6 months or whatever period of time, and then make a decision. If the board is in agreement on that, then I would ask for a move to approve the schedule we've been talking about, 9 o'clock, adjust for the holiday schedule, and then continuing the Thursday night meetings.
The fourth Thursday of each month at 6:30. Do you wanna go through this whole thing? Do you want me to read all of that, or can we do it just?
Let's do the meetings first, and then we can go through the rest of it.
Okay, sessions will be held in the Geauga County Commissioners' chambers or alternate location as necessary with legally required notice of change location provided. They will be held every Tuesday at 9 a.m. with adjustments to add Thursdays for the weeks of holidays before Thursday of each month at 6:30 p.m. Request for reasonable advance notification of all commissioners' meetings at which any specific type of public business is to be discussed may be requested of the commissioner's clerk. Provisions for advance notification may include, but are not limited to, emailing the agenda of meetings to all subscribers on a distribution list or by self-addressed stamped envelope provided by the person requesting the information. The board may have additional meetings as required at the time and place designated. Any meeting called by the Geauga County office holders, department heads, county administrator, or the county's legal counsel. Any meetings of the Geauga County Township Trustees or Clerks Association, any meetings of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio, any regular or special meetings of the following boards or councils at which a quorum of the Board of County Commissioners may be present, any Township Board of Trustees meeting in City and Village Council, Geauga County Board of Health, Geauga County Health Advisory Council, Geauga Trumbull Solid Waste Management District, Geauga Soil and Water Conservation District meetings, Planning Commission, NOACA, NOCCOG, CIC, Community Improvement Corporation meetings, Portage Geauga Juvenile Detention Center Joint Board, Investment Advisory Committee, Ohio Public Works District 7 Integrating Committee, Geauga County Agricultural Board meetings, and meetings to honor any invitations received by the Geauga County Commissioners to attend groundbreakings, openings, celebrations, memorial services, and/or parades, and meetings with any organization or other political entities to discuss items of mutual concern. The time, place, and purpose of all special meetings, in addition to regularly scheduled meetings, will be given at least 24 hours in advance of such meeting to the news media that have requested notification, except in the event of an emergency requiring immediate official action. In the event of an emergency, the board member or board members calling the meeting shall notify the news media that have requested notification immediately of the time, place, and purpose of the meeting.
Any other discussion? If not,
Do I have a motion?
I'll motion it.
Second?
I'll second, I guess.
Commissioner Rea?
No?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool.
Before I vote yes, Blake, you've been really quiet. You didn't offer any input or suggestions or whatever, so.
I offered all my suggestions and input 2 weeks ago, whatever date our work session was. I disagree with the top 2 lines of this, or, well, actually, line 2 and 3 of this motion. I've stated my reasons why. And, you know, I have not seen any compelling reason why we should, for our convenience, make it inconvenient for the rest of the county. And there's debate on how inconvenient or convenient it is, but remembering that many of the people who would reply to this are serve at the will of this board. I'm not sure that they're necessarily being forthright with their positions based on a possibility of future retribution. So that's why I haven't said anything. I mean, you two are running the show, so fine, I just get to voice my opinion that is no on that. I still think we should have gone back to the schedule that we had in 14, which was the Tuesday morning meetings at 10 and the Thursday morning meetings, second and fourth, right? Second, fourth, Thursday. And I think those, at least the second was at 10 o'clock. We did have the evening meeting, which I can, you know, I'm not gonna go to the electric chair over that 6:30 time. I just felt it wasn't as productive as at least I had hoped it was when I supported it at that time. That's my position.
Okay, well, you know, I appreciate your position, and I wanted to make sure that we at least got an opportunity to talk about it more. I'm not seeing in the comments from those, either the departments and or our staff, and I don't maybe feel a little differently about our staff. I don't think we have any shrinking violets on our staff, and I think that none of them would feel that there'd be any retribution, because we just don't operate that way. So, and I don't think we have any shy folks. Do you think that would be the case, Jerry? Are you shy? No. I don't think so. Neither are the rest of our staff. So, you know, I don't know. 1 hour difference, I'm not seeing any real compelling reason to change, other than making sure that we adjust the holiday schedule. So, but I think it is important. We've always respected everybody's input, and I appreciate your input, Blake.
Well,
It is important to at least hear what you have to say. So,
Interestingly enough, I'm just looking at this document, and it appears that Jerry, who you won't single out, states that the 10 a.m. meeting works better for us, as 9 a.m. comes up pretty quick, and I'm usually dropping something I started to work to come over. So while he isn't a shrinking violence by any means, he did favor the other schedule, at least in writing.
yeah. Well, he
So,
did.
you know, you guys do what you want.
He did say it works better, but he doesn't say, oh my goodness, 9 o'clock is really a disaster for us. So, all in balance, I mean, we've been doing this, and I don't see where it's been.
I would add one thing that you know, I won't add it. There was a comment you made it a year ago after this, because if you check, a year ago I voted no on this issue also. It's in the record.
Okay, yes.
Just to add a note, years ago, and I think it was prior to Mary coming in, the meetings were held on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30.
And Mary changed them to 10.
Yep,
You're right. That's
because
what
I
they
was looking
changed.
for something else, or
Yeah,
and I
they
came across
changed
the
the
meeting
beginning
schedule
of
and I
05 to 10. They moved them from 9:30 back to 10. I think it was Linda might have suggested the 9:30 as a
Split the baby.
Huh?
Split the baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
The
I mean,
difference in,
you know, we could change this anytime we want to. just because we established it this morning to be 9 o'clock, you know, if it presents a problem, and Jerry, if you have really strong feelings, come in the office and we'll talk about it, and we'll, I'll beat you when you come into the office. But we can change our meeting schedules as we choose, as we decide we need to, just to make sure that we're getting our jobs done. Okay, moving on.
Okay, your board appointments for 2016. Last year on ADP board, the primary was Commissioner Claypool and the alternate was Commissioner Spitaleri.
Let's, if you don't mind, with the permission of the board, I thought that the last year's board assignments worked pretty well. I don't know if anybody's got strong feelings on switching out, if you want to flip-flop a board seat or whatever the case happens to be. For the sake of time, I think we could, unless there's a disagreement, just agree to the current board assignments. If not, then.
My only question is board of revision, do you want to change? Or do you want to continue to go to board of revision this year?
Yeah, that one I would give to Blake.
He was the alternate last year.
Board of revision was so much fun. Just, Blake, you would.
That's fine with me. I went I think
And
I
then
went
if
the year
you can't
before
go,
or something.
You can't go, and you can't go, then Dave goes, so it just kind of.
I don't really care. I was joking around.
Well,
Actually,
no, I mean,
didn't.
I don't mind doing that, even though sometimes they're pretty early in the morning, as I remember, but that's all.
Well, you've got a number of boards, and so.
It doesn't
make any
I also
difference.
don't have the responsibilities of the, either of the first two positions, so it's not, I don't feel worked. There are occasions, as there are with all of us, where there's a conflict that arises, and that's why you have an alternate.
Did you want the board of revision?
That's fine with
I mean,
me, I don't mind.
care, so.
I mean,
You want to flip a coin, or what do you?
no, I've done enough. If you don't want to do it, I don't
We'll
have.
just switch seats and make you the primary and make you the alternate, and he can go, and then when he can't go, you can go, and then, because that's what it was last year. You were the primary, he was the alternate, so if Blake wants to really go to board of revision.
I don't mind. I
You
don't,
could
it's
be
not,
the alternate.
it's not a problem. Do it, you know.
Okay. Blake's primary and Steve's
Okay.
alternate.
Okay.
And other than that, everything else stays the same. Is that what I'm hearing?
We took off a few.
No, for the solid waste policy.
Policy
okay,
is
for
required.
policy is all three of
President.
All
us.
three.
Policy
No,
is
board of
required to be
directors.
president, board of directors is all three of
The
you.
policy is the president.
Okay.
So let's see, your CIC is all three. Community corrections, I had the primary is Rear and alternate is Spitaleri. Do you wanna
That's fine.
leave it? I'm trying to transfer, so I have but we took some off of this list versus the previous year, so I just wanna make sure I have corporate extension advisory.
The only one that
I don't even think that
I
one
would,
just doesn't even need to be on
the only one I would question, or I don't want to question it, I'm just bringing it up, is the NOCCOG, which I'm primary on right now. Their office, their officers are 6 months different than our schedule. So, last week, former president of the NOCCOG board was Dan Claypool, who, according to whatever happens in Ashtabula County, he stepped down at the appointment process of the NOCCOG. And Peg Carlo from Ashtabula assumed his position there. And I remain on as vice chairman of that board. which means when one of them is absent, I run the meeting. That's basically what it amounts to. And even if we were to change that at this point in time, which I'm assuming we could, then we'd have to go back to them and say whoever gets on there's gonna have to, you know, it's gonna take further action there. I don't really care, I'm just offering that up, that they don't run concurrent with us for their appointments.
Well, you as the primary and Ralph as the alternate last year for NOCCOG. So if you want to just leave that as is.
Fine with me, I'm just,
Or do you
you know.
want
Or do you want
Or do you wanna
to, you want to flip-flop, you took the Board of Revisions, you want me to do the NACOG? Because Dan's not there anymore, that was the issue last year. He didn't want me on there, he was on a team.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it, because it has to do with workforce development and so on, and I enjoy that, I just brought that up that, you know, I don't mind doing it.
Unless you want to make you the alternate instead of Ralph.
Yeah, I actually like to be involved with that. I said that last year, but Dan didn't want me on there because as my brother, he thought there'd be a conflict, so. But why don't you put me on there as the alternate? If Blake wants to flip-flop that at some point.
Yeah, well,
Because you're doing too much. I mean, these meetings get to be, there's a lot of them going on. There's a conflict between the Board of Revision and NACOG and all that, so.
I hesitate saying this on TV in public, the biggest problem with NOCCOG is it is acronym central.
That's all it is.
You know, I was like, do you have a directory of what all these letters mean? That's the only, and I'm starting to catch on, which is frightening.
The only one that I need to know is who your alternates are for NOACA.
I'll have engineer again.
You're gonna leave Joe as yours? Okay.
And I'm gonna leave Linda.
Unless there's a opposition by this person, I wanted to name Shane Hajar from the engineer's office.
No opposition from this group. I like Shane. Good guy.
Well, I think he's a very competent individual.
Very
which
competent.
would- But having said that, I did not necessarily check with his boss to see that. But then if his boss goes for Ralph and Shane goes for me, they can carpool.
Yeah.
Cut down on that mileage expense.
Okay, so for 2016, I have as follows: Board President Claypool, Vice President Spitaleri, ADP Board Primary is Claypool, alternate Spitaleri, Board of Revision, primary is Rear, alternate Claypool, Community Corrections, primary Rear, alternate Spitaleri, CIC, all three of you. Courthouse Security Advisory Committee, primary Rear, alternate Spitaleri, Family First, primary Rear, alternate Claypool. Financial Review and Report Committee, President is required to be primary, I have Rear as alternate. Agricultural Society, all three of you. Solid Waste Policy is the President, and Solid Waste Board of Directors is all three of you. Health District Advisory Board, primary is required to be President, so that would be Claypool, alternate is Spitaleri. Investment Advisory Committee, 2 commissioners, so it's going to remain the same as Claypool and Spitaleri because your seats did not change. Microfilming Board is going to be primary Claypool, alternate Rear. NOACA, Claypool, Linda Berheni is alternate, Rear, Shane Hajar is alternate, and Spitaleri, Joe Cattell is alternate. NOCCOG, formerly GAP, primary is Rear, alternate is Claypool. Planning Commission, all three of you. Portage-Geauga Juvenile Detention Center, all three of you. Records Commission, primary is President, alternate Spitaleri, and revolving loan and local revolving loan will be primary Rear and alternate Claypool. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spitaleri? Commissioner Claypool?
I didn't jot all those down, so you'll provide us with a list, right?
That's what I was using from last year, was the list from last year.
And I don't know if this makes any difference to the two of you, but Krista, of course, damn, Christy's gonna be on leave. Christy's owns my calendar. And so if there's a meeting coming up, she drops it in my calendar, which is possible, you just give her, and so if the meetings just show up, you get to approve them, and that works pretty good for me, so.
Years ago on your calendar, Blake gets a list, and I send that list to Ralph, so you all get the same list that Blake gets,
Yeah,
but he gets one for here, for one for home.
I get one for here, one for home, and I put it on the kitchen cabinet so that
The advantage is it just shows up on my calendar, though, which actually interfaces with my phone. So
Yeah, but,
that's-
well, okay, doesn't interface with my phone.
When I wanna know what's going on, I just check my phone in the morning and say, oh crap, I got a meeting for you.
Like Paulson says.
It doesn't work
My
on this
schedule
phone.
says there a
Yeah, it
change to
doesn't-
this.
It doesn't work
Calendar
on,
doesn't work on a flip phone.
don't work on this flip phone,
No.
which is where that's as far as I'm going. I'm not going any further into technology.
Okay, your staff appointments. Are we making any changes, or are we just gonna read this in concert all the way down to your drainage engineer?
And you changed, you
Director
changed
of Water Resources and
Resources.
Sanitary is Jared Morgan.
You got, Mike, Jessica, you did, right?
Craig, Glenn, Mike, Jared, Karen, and Matt.
Can't think of any staff changes yet.
Okay. We'll do these together. Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint David Blair, County Administrator. Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Linda Burhenny, Director of Administrative Services. Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Christine Blair as the clerk to the Commissioners, number 1306. Commissioner's Office is requesting the board list the following personnel exemptions with the Ohio Department of Administrative Services in compliance with Section 124.11.89 of the Ohio Revised Code. David Blair, County Administrator, Linda Burhenny, Director of Administrative Services, and Christine Blair, Commissioner's Clerk. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve the following staff appointments. Chief Building Enforcement Official, Michael Mahallison. Director, Department on Aging, Jessica Bolt. Director, Community and Economic Development and Fair Housing, Nate Stocker. Director, Department of Emergency Services, Dale Wedge. Director, Job and Family Services, 124.11.822, Craig Swenson. Director of Maintenance, Glenn Burnick. Director of Transportation, 124.11.825, Michael Casper. Director of Water Resources and Sanitary Engineer, Gerard Morgan. Director of County Home Superintendent, Karen DeCola. Dog Warden, Matt Granito, and acknowledge those staff appointments as placed in the unclassified service pursuant to ORC 124.11.83B unless specified, and who are provided an unclassified service explanation and acknowledgement form.
I make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm just, thank you, guys.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Joe Cattell as drainage engineer and set the compensation at biweekly rate of $346.81 to be effective with pay number 2.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool? Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Richard Manley as county apiarist and further approve and execute the 2016 Ohio Department of Agricultural appointment for county apiary inspector form to be effective January 1st, 2016 at an hourly rate of $11.64 per hour and a mileage reimbursement rate of 54 cents per mile.
I'd like to have you invite this gentleman in, I've never met him.
I'm just gonna say that would be perfect guy for a night meeting too, for like an informative meeting.
Sure.
I keep bees. My hive died last year because of the harsh weather. I'm gonna be getting another hive or two this year, but I'd love to meet the guy who's
Yeah.
supposed to inspect these things.
Yeah. We'll see if he's available for, we have a night meeting this month. We'll
Yeah.
see if he's available.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
His updated cell phone number is on the phone there.
Okay.
We had a little trouble getting in touch with him. I ended up having to write him a letter to get in touch with him. And
Yeah.
he did supply me with his updated cell phone.
Hopefully you won't be expecting any hives Monday night in January, or Thursday night in January.
No, that would be nice.
Or in my siding.
No.
I mean, we might have a problem there. If he's trying to keep them and I'm trying to exterminate them.
Well, I'm surprised they're not a protected species, because there's no wild bees in them.
If
Not
anybody ever
much.
needs anybody to have bees removed, let me know. I have a really good person.
Oh, yeah.
Or free-range bees.
Yeah. She took over for her dad, right?
Her brother also helps her. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Gerard Morgan to serve as prevailing wage coordinator for Geauga County for 2016. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Nicholas Flores to serve as a prevailing wage coordinator for Geauga County for 2016.
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
There was a change to that. Nick has been doing it in the office for a couple of years, and so Frank felt that he should be the one that should be appointed. Okay, now the fun one. Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-005, authorizing the county administrator to exercise powers delegated hereby under ORC 305.30. you want me to list what those items include? Do you want me to read the resolution?
I don't think it's necessary. If anybody's interested in a copy, we're trying to streamline our process. We've been talking about this for months now in terms of taking some of the stuff off of the agenda, which is like approving somebody to retire. I've tried saying no, it's not worked, they retired anyway. So it's streamlining stuff like that. So if anybody wants to see the list of things, the administrative things that we're giving Dave the authorization, and it will always be reviewed and talked about in any case, and it's always available for public viewing. So I don't know, at least from my perspective, if anybody wants it read, let me know. We don't need to read the whole resolution.
And just so we know that they are to be performed under the direction and supervision of the board. So whatever Dave will approve, he will report on, just like he does with the financials,
Yeah.
because those are also included in here. Laura also had the financials included in here. I do want to make note that service contract agreements that are in the amount of $10,000 per year or less, up to and including multi-year service contracts that do not exceed the $10,000 per year limit.
That's the one thing that might raise some eyebrows, is that there's some contracts, but they're regular, we do these annually, it's a maintenance kind of a thing. So, again, anybody who wants a request of this, it's available to you to take a look at. We, just for whatever it's worth, procedurally, every week, we receive through our emails all the documents that we are talking about in session and so forth, so we're all individually getting up to speed on all this stuff. And so we see all these things come through our emails, we review them throughout the week. We ask questions, as Kelly knows this morning, and we're all very engaged in the process, even though sometimes it doesn't look that way here. So with that said, what you gonna do? Oh, sorry. I have a motion.
I will make the motion to delegate the power.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
May I ask a question? Procedurally, how do you anticipate that will work? I mean, I come in at Wednesday morning and say, Dave, I've got this contract to maintain my copier, will you sign it? I mean, how will that work exactly for the department heads?
Yeah, you would bring it to me. If it's something fairly routine, if the rate isn't changing, I would sign it and I would document, that would be part of my report.
It'll be sent to them first?
I'm shaking my head no,
Yeah.
because after having the conversation with Laura, we were talking about having the items still come in, sent to them.
Okay.
In
Well,
addition
like a
to
consent
you.
agenda.
Yes, so
Yeah.
So
that
we
way,
have-
because my understanding was at the work session is that Skip wants to still be able to review what it is that you would be signing, so that if they have a question or if they want it actually put on the regular agenda, they have that opportunity.
So we will have the opportunity to have prior knowledge.
That's right.
Right.
Because you
And
have
if
to
we
agree that
either
he
take
is
it
signing.
or shame on us.
Right.
Right, and then at some point in time,
We have right of first refusal.
yeah, time marches on and he signs.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna send that out and you have a period of time to look at it. If we don't hear anything back. it's-
Laura made the suggestion of you and I setting a day during the week that you will be approving these items.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
Right,
idea.
yeah, it's a good question to ask, because, we're kind of waiting for the approval. We said, okay, now we have the approval, what, in real life, how's this gonna work?
And
So,
because
as a
we've-
department head, my question would be, how long is that process gonna take compared to how long it takes now?
It'll probably only be a couple days, but you're not
Okay.
gonna have to wait till like Tuesday. So that was one of the things that we were talking about, is trying to figure out how to establish that, because it's gonna be a change
Right,
to what we're currently doing.
right, yeah.
So,
Well, this is a new process, there's probably gonna be a hiccup or two here. If it doesn't make things faster and/or better, then we ought not be doing it. And so we're gonna try this, and hopefully we'll make things, it'll streamline things, make things faster. If it's not, then we're being stupid, so we'll have to change it back, but,
Well, it's amendable.
right.
we'll,
Correct.
I don't see it as being an overly, it puts more work on Dave. Of course, he's sitting around twiddling his thumbs most of the time anyway, so.
I'm like the Maytag repairman, I'm just waiting for the.
So, but outside of that, I don't see any big issues with this.
I mean, obviously, the goal of this office staff is no surprises to you guys. So, that's-
Right.
and you'll still have the oversight, we're just trying to make it a little more efficient.
Okay. Next.
Copy charges. They are the same they have been for the last 2 or 3 years, establishing the copy charge at 5 cents per black and white for legal copy, which will charge the total reaches a minimum amount of $1 for the year 2016 for the departments under the direction of the commissioners. Commissioner's office is requesting the board establish the copy charge at 20 cents per color letter or legal copy with no charge until the total reaches a minimum amount of $1 for the year 2016 for the departments under the direction of the commissioners. Commissioner's office is requesting the board establish the copy charge at $1 per compact disc for the year 2016 for the departments under the direction of the Geauga County Commissioners.
So move.
Second.
And this time
Commissioner
blank.
Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool? Okay. Do you wanna just do this whole entire credit card
I think that makes
authorization?
sense.
In one lump
All
sum.
in one big long thing, it goes all the way over to page 6. It starts at page 3 and goes to page 6. So while I'm reading,
Do we need to
Pass.
reach individual line item, or can we just do it as a whole? So you do the top part, just like we did the approval, we didn't read all the items that were being approved, we could just read the top part and understand that there's a whole bunch of credit cards that are involved. Is that possible? Or
it's
not?
specific to the person, so I don't know, there's specific dollar amounts per person, per department on some of them, and they also include specific people that,
Yeah.
so it's up to you.
Those two,
Or
but
do
I
you
don't
wanna
have a problem if
or
we
you
just do
wanna
it as
just
a
approve it
blanket thing.
as a lump and say that you're approving we can do the 3 at the top and then the use of the credit cards for the year, for the month, and just list the departments.
Yeah, because I mean, it's all stated on there.
Yeah,
It
it's
will
a- I
all
mean,
be
it's-
included in the letters.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to sign all of these.
Thank you.
Oh wait, there's more.
Sorry.
I'm beginning to second guess this whole president thing.
Yeah, this whole stick you have to sign, so.
Okay.
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board approve the addition of Jim Ansbach to the Maintenance Department Home Depot Commercial Credit Account. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve the addition of Jessica Bolt and Bobby Billets to the Maintenance Department Home Depot Commercial Credit Account. And the County Home is requesting the board approve the addition of Karen DeCola to the Maintenance Department Home Depot Commercial Credit Account. Understand that those have a $1,000 limit. Commissioner's office is requesting the board approve the use of credit cards for the 2016 year for the following departments: Department on Aging, Building Department, Commissioner's Office, Community Development, County Home, Department of Emergency Services, Job and Family Services, Maintenance, Transit, County Engineer, Probate Juvenile Court, and I think that encapsulates all the way down to the Engineer's Office, the specific forms and Probate Juvenile Court. For the list of individuals included on their sheets, and for the dollar amounts, maximum set monthly amounts that will be sent to the auditor's office.
Okay, so we're gonna do this in sections, because we have the,
No, I just lumped them all together under one, unless you want me to read each individual name.
so you were, no, you were including these
Yep.
under this whole approval process?
Yep,
Okay.
all the way over to the bottom of page 6.
Okay. For the sake of full disclosure, in case anybody's interested out there in the public,
They will be included in the minutes too.
all of the credit card amounts, but I'm just gonna give just a little bit more information in terms of dollar amounts we're talking about. We're not talking about significant dollar amount. It's $1,000, and this is on a monthly basis, right?
Yes.
So certain individuals and certain departments have the ability to charge up to, not that they're going to charge that dollar amount.
Correct.
The highest dollar amounts that we are given permission.
Maintenance, 5,000.
In
Our office,
particular,
4,000.
yeah, we've got our office, 4,000, the maintenance department, 5,000, the probate courts, 3,000.
Job and Family Services is a
Each.
4,000. County engineers.
Where are you at? I'm not even seeing dollars amounts off there. A lot of these here, so. And so, yeah, that's it. So, I mean, we're not talking, and I don't think you in the Commissioner's office, we would touch the $4,000 limit, so. Unless we're going to
It's
CCAO.
travel.
and meeting.
Well,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's,
so-
and that's the whole thing, is it's travel, so.
So with that
And that's
said,
per person.
anybody?
Yeah.
We're never even close to that, I don't think.
No.
I mean,
No.
the main thing there is that we all leave here at different times and all arrive somewhere else at different times, and then when you try to put it on a
Right.
a blanket bill at the hotel, they get all nervous, so.
Right.
So it's not significant dollar amounts, anybody wants to see the complete list of who has authority and what their limits are, is welcome to the entire list, so.
And it does not include all employees for all departments.
No, just certain specific employees, and there's a very robust auditing process to ensure no abuse.
I will make a motion.
Second?
Very good, thank you.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool? Thank you.
That takes us to the top of page 7, correct?
Yes.
Wow. Very
I
efficient.
was like, wow. I came prepared.
She did.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board reappoint the following members to the Geauga County Local Revolving Loan Committee for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2017, including Andrew Meinhold, Debbie Mack, Lois Stanku, Carolyn Mansfield, Christopher Hitchcock as her alternate, and Dave Dietrich. Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board reappoint the following members to the Geauga County Revolving Loan Committee for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2017, including Andrew Meinhold, Debbie Mack, Lois Stanku, Caroline Mansfield, and Christopher Hitchcock as alternate.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool? So this is county governments, local, Okay, Department of Emergency Services is requesting the board appoint the following members to the DES Terrorism Mitigation and Planning Group for a 1-year term expiring December 31st, 2016. Fire Service, Scott Hildebrand. Hampton Fire Department, John Frazier. Alternate, Russell Fire Department. Emergency Medical, Larry Gasper. Primary, Chardon Fire Department, Mark Lynn. Alternate, Munson Fire Department. Police Department, Mark Purchase. Chester Police. Sheriff's Office, Dan McClellan. Sheriff's Office. Emergency Management, Dale Wedge, primary, and Roger Peterson is alternate. Public Works, Gerard Morgan, Water Resources. Public Health, Bob Weisdack, primary health commissioner. Township, James DeVorak, Burton Township trustee. Mayor's Office, Randall Sharps, Charlotte City Manager, and Commissioner's Office, David Blair for the commissioners.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool? One more. The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board reappoint the following members to the Family Services Planning Committee for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2016, including Jessica Bolton, Nan Bird, Vicki Clark, Matt Galemo, Christine Gibbons, Scott Hildebrand, David Lair, Chester Miller, Nancy Seelbach, Jared Tudor, Julie Weiss. The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board appoint Terry Malnar to the Family Services Planning Committee for a 1-year term ending December 31st, 2016.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
That's it?
Believe it or not,
Wow.
that's it.
That is the most organized reorg I've ever seen. And I've seen a few.
I tried to be.
If there's no further, there's nothing further, is there?
Nope, that's it.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
At 10